having a trading system is important. Since childhood, you've been taught to obey certain rules for the preservation of your health and safety. This is a very good example of a system. Okay, nice and simple and universally understood. So you never go when the light's red. You wait for the green signal when it's amber, and when it's green, you're okay to go, but you'd look both ways before crossing. So that's a very simple demonstration of the system. Stop, wait, go. However, we're not taught this when we begin trading. They want us to go at this point because they want to take your money, they want to take your stops, and they don't care about you at all. And so that's what they want you to do. And that's by having a system, you see, by waiting, and then you go here. Okay? So the basic rudimentaries of trading, we're not taught. Okay? So when you enter here, in the highly volatile world of foreign exchange, I mean, this is the most volatile market in the world, and they want us to come in, and they don't want us to prep. They want us to enter here. Because they don't care. They just want your money. And so you would have blindly entered here, and you would have instantly suffered the consequences. And after a few years of trading and gaining experience, you wait for the amber light. You enter and you get chopped up, but your risk management saved you from having a large loss, and you live to trade another day. And then with a proven and logical system, the logic is absolutely paramount. That's absolutely key to understand that we have a logic in this system. Okay, and that I'll describe in a few slides. So with a proven and logical system in place, like the one we have at quasidb.com, we wait for the green light, but we look both ways to ensure our safety regardless before entry. So this is what they want you to do. When they say they, it's like the banks and the market makers. They don't give 2 cents about you and your finances. It's a highly risky environment, and everyone knows that. And it's been stipulated everywhere, the disclaimers. But that's what they want you to do. And so we would enter the green light. So waiting for the green light to go essentially eliminates the gambling from your trades, because we're following some simple rules from a predetermined system that's proven to work. The logic is simple. The crowd are often wrong, and they hold on to their losing trades. And this is one of the very few truths you'll find in trading. If you just go to Twitter now and just look at someone's analysis, and they're saying the Dow Jones will drop 1,000 points after the US elections, no one really knows what's going to happen, but we do know for a fact 80% of those things that you see on Twitter, they're going to end up losing money. And the reason for it is that 80% of retail traders don't have a system. They're just going by their gut and basically gambling, essentially. So that's one of the very few truths. So that's the logic. Okay, so it's key. That's the concrete structure. So ideally, you'd want to understand why something was more of a buy or more of a sell over time. It's because the guys, they hold on to their losses, and by looking at the bubbles, we can see their retail positioning over time. So when they already have a pre-existing bias and then they add to that bias, it's a strong signal. And obviously we do the opposite of the majority, because the majority are often wrong. That's the concept. And then we have a system in place to fall back on. So we don't gamble. We have certain rules that we don't go, wait, go. And you enter with diligence and constantly assess the risks involved. So I would say to everyone, in a choppy market, there isn't really any harm just moving your stop ahead of the break even. So when you do go and profit, as the signals often do, if it does reverse, you're out of profit. But the key is that the concept, we have the bias. And so obviously if they are going long and they're adding to long, it's more of a sell over time. Now that power, that knowledge is immense. So we can have that bias and simply look for a re-entry, because we know that the bias is to go that particular way. So it's understand the concept. So we do have a logic, and we have a system. And then even with this system, we still are careful and we enter with diligence. Because if you were to cross a road when it's green light, you still obviously want to check, like quick quick look left, quick look right, and then you can cross. You wouldn't just blindly cross the road. And so that's the key. That's the three keys. So this is a global look at retail traders. These guys, they're just like the entry level beginner traders. They haven't done any research. They've gone to Twitter. They've asked someone what they think about gold, and they haven't done any research, and they read on this guy's analysis that gold's going to rally $1,000, or the Dow Jones is going to fall 1,000 points, but they haven't done any research, and they've just taken someone's advice, someone off the internet, completely anonymous person, and they think, oh, that sounds about right, I'll do that, and they'll be over leveraged, and they'll hold on to their losses. So this is like the worst of the worst, and this is why we wait. And so the amber is obviously 30% of losses occur here. Now, a lot of you probably are here, and then you're looking for a system, and you're looking for something to fall back on. So it's not gambling. This is high risk gambling. This is gambling. This has eliminated the gambling completely, but obviously we have a little bit of risk there still, because you'd want to check left and right before you cross the road. So they didn't wait for the confirmation, but their risk management saved them from having a large loss. So this is potentially, a lot of you are looking at this. There might be some of you at that stage potentially that you're still entering without any prep work. By having access to the spreadsheet, you would not be in that one, and you wouldn't be in that one. You'd be waiting down here, waiting for the right signal. And so 20% of retail traders will regularly encounter profits, because they followed a process and they've got a system, and they waited to tell them when to stop, wait, and go. But they enter constantly acknowledging the risks involved. So they wouldn't just enter blindly. Here, they'd obviously still check things like, does it look like a buy or sell on the technical? Are we above pivot? Are we below pivot? Is it fundamentally a good idea to buy the dollar? Stuff like that. You prep work, and then you'd be good to go. And so, just a side note, we implemented a API code into the sheet, and so we only get this retail positioning data at lightning speed, and because it's only the one download, and it's a lot more reliable. Before, we were using the HTTP requests, and we did it on every single currency pair, and so it really weighed down the sheet, and it became quite laggy. Now we just got the one download, and so that's that one API code, and so it's infinitely more efficient now, because before I'd have to change the HTTPS, the secure on and off, I'd have to toggle it, but now we've got this. It's a lot more reliable and it's more powerful, but it's just a perfect demonstration of when you've got a system, you can build upon that because you've got an existing structure. Now, if you don't have a system, like a rule book, you have nothing to fall back on. If you don't have any rules, it's chaos. It's just noise and it's just disharmony, and that's why you're going to lose money. So if you've got some logic before your entry, and then that's obviously only going to be a benefit. So it eliminates the gambling, because you're obviously undertaking checks, waiting for the green light, and then you're good to go. And even when you're good to go, you're still careful anyway. So just a quick example why you want to use the system. The QuasiDB system uses the logic, and I think it's fairly rare. Not many services do this, as far as I know, especially the bubbles. So it's a good opportunity to come on board if you're looking for a system and you want to eliminate the gambling out of your trades. So hopefully it helped. Hopefully the message was clear, and hopefully it wasn't too patronizing with the traffic lights. But I think it's a good demonstration, because we're taught that when we're children, but we're not taught that when we're trading. If we apply the same logic, then we'll do well. And you want to avoid entering here at all costs. Never do this. And if you're asking for people for advice about if X is a buy or a sell, you need to do that research. Asking people is ridiculous, because no one knows. The only way that we can survive is by entering here with diligence and plenty of research, and the QuizzDB can provide that for you. So hopefully it's a good video. I've had to make 8 takes. So this is my 8th and hopefully final take. So I hope you have a good day, and I'll speak to you later.